Hey guys, today I want to go over how we get from contract to closing. Okay, you just received the call that's saying that the sellers have accepted your offer. Yay! Now what? Well, I've developed a process that helps buyers get everything taken care of in a timely manner and ensures that we move forward smoothly and efficiently. I've found that this greatly reduces the potential stress of this portion of the home buying process. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to send you an email congratulating you and outlining next steps. This email will also include a list of critical dates that need to be met through the contract timeframe. One of the top priorities is going to be to schedule inspections. Now, I usually recommend obtaining a general and wood-destroying insect or termite inspection. And we want to get those scheduled as early in the process as possible. I always encourage my buyers to be present at the end of the inspection so that they can go over the highlights and get any questions they may have answered. I find this enhances the overall understanding of the report and helps buyers figure out what they may want to ask for. Now, in my opinion, a good inspector is one that is knowledgeable, thorough, and able to deliver the information in a digestible format that isn't alarming. Inspectors are required to inspect to today's codes and standards. So, older homes are inherently going to have a list of items that were likely correct at the time the home was constructed, but they don't meet today's codes. Sellers are generally resistant to fixing those because they don't see those as a deficiency per se, but rather something that can be upgraded. Now, I generally recommend focusing on safety related and large ticket items that are either in need of repair or at the end of their lifespan. For example, if a 30-year roof only has 2 years left on it, then we need to consider that as part of the overall picture. Some of these items will warrant further investigation by a professional. So if we're able to schedule that first inspection early on, this will allow us the time to better understand the concern and any potential repair that might be needed. Once you've prioritized your list, there's usually an opportunity to renegotiate with the seller. A seller can't give you cash directly because that's considered loan fraud, but they can either perform a repair or pay closing costs on your behalf in lieu of performing that specific repair. There are pros and cons to each of these strategies, and we'll go over it at the time. But if a seller pays some of your closing costs, that actually keeps more money in your pocket and allows you to address that item after closing and to your satisfaction. If you're obtaining a loan, the lender's going to have kind of a minimum requirements for habitability. And sometimes they may require a repair to be completed prior to closing to meet those standards. Now, an example of that would be a working air conditioner, or they may require that a broken window be repaired. If there is a lender-required repair, then it has to be addressed prior to closing and in order for the house to qualify for the loan. Now, another kind of critical item in the process is that you, the buyer, will receive something called a title commitment that's provided by the title company. Now, this is a complicated legal document, but basically it's a commitment that the title company will ensure that you have free and clear title to that property during your ownership. You will also have the chance to review any homeowners association documents that may be applicable to the property, including the rules and regulations, the budget, the cash reserves, and other pertinent items. HOAs are usually mandatory to participate in, so we just want to make sure that you understand and are comfortable with everything. We would also obtain a survey if that's part of the transaction. And with all of these items, you'll have the opportunity to review these prior to moving forward in the transaction. Now, if you're getting a loan, then we will also need to have an appraisal done, which is the third-party opinion of value that the lender requires. I know that this can cause some anxiety, so we really try to get that scheduled early on as well. Sometimes buyers are okay with paying over market, but we will still need to obtain an appraisal even in that event. Now, if we didn't use the appraisal addendum that was mentioned in the previous episode, and the home appraises for less than the sales price, don't stress. There are solutions to this, and it's my job to guide and advise you through that process. Now, once we're through all of these critical steps, we're really close to the finish line. We will await final approval from your lender and for the all-important communication that you are clear to close. The lender will send you the final numbers a minimum of 3 days prior to closing, and then you're ready to sign papers. Through all of this, I will send out weekly updates and emails outlining some of the other items that are associated with buying a house, like changing your mailing address, changing utilities, and things like that. There's a lot to be done, but by staying organized and streamlined, we can get everything taken care of together and ensure that you stay excited to buy this perfect property.